Welcome to today's podcast, where we're diving into a question that's on a lot of our minds these days. What does it really mean to be successful? And, perhaps even more importantly, to be happy? With so many people sharing their lives on social media, showing off quick fame, easy money, and fast success, it can feel like we're all trying to catch up. But is that truly what leads to happiness? Today, I want to introduce you to 3 stories. Those of Gawdat, Simon Sinek, and Steve Jobs, who each found their own path to success, one built on purpose, resilience, and a dedication to meaningful work. Through their stories, we'll explore what it takes to build a life of success in a way that brings lasting happiness. Let's start with Gawdat. Now, Mo's journey to success began like many others, with a drive to work hard, make a difference, and build a great career. Mo grew up in Egypt, studied engineering, and eventually landed a job at Google X. Imagine that! Google X is the secret innovation lab at Google, where they create things like self-driving cars and high-tech robots. It was Mo's dream job. He was working with the latest technology, he had respect, power, and a lot of money. It seemed like he had it all. But here's the surprising part. Mo realized he wasn't happy. He had achieved what so many of us might call success, yet he felt empty inside. He found himself asking a question that would change his life. Is this it? Is success only about power, money, and fame? Or is there something deeper? This question became more than just a thought. It became something he couldn't ignore. This inner questioning grew stronger, and then, one day, Mo's life took a sudden, heartbreaking turn. His son, Ali, passed away suddenly, during what should have been a simple surgery. The loss was devastating. Imagine the pain, the emptiness. But instead of letting grief consume him, Mo made a decision. He would find a way to honor his son's memory by searching for real happiness and meaning. And in that journey, he realized something big. Real success isn't about money or fame at all. Instead, they come from living with purpose, growing as a person, and working on something meaningful. His journey led him to write a book titled Solve for Happy, where he shares insights he gained on the importance of inner peace, growth, and positive impact. In his book, he talks about how real happiness doesn't come from likes on Instagram or followers on TikTok. Instead, it's about doing something that matters, working hard, learning, and helping others. His story is a reminder that the success we often see online, the quick fame, the fast money, might look good on the outside, but it doesn't bring lasting happiness. In fact, chasing fame without purpose can leave people feeling even emptier than before. Mo teaches us that real happiness comes from within, from making a difference in the lives of others, and from growing as individuals. Now, as you think about Mo's story, maybe ask yourself, what makes you truly happy? His story invites us to look beyond fame and money and to ask ourselves what success really means to us. This brings us to Simon Sinek. Much like Mo, Simon's journey was also about finding purpose, and it led him to a life-changing discovery. Simon was born in the UK, but he moved a lot as a kid, to places like South Africa and Hong Kong. These experiences gave him a broad perspective on life, yet, like so many people, he didn't have a clear sense of direction. Eventually, he moved to the US, went to college, and got into advertising. Now, Simon was good at his job, really good. On the outside, he looked successful, but on the inside, he felt like something was missing. Have you ever felt like that? Like you're working hard but not connected to what you're doing? This feeling grew until Simon hit a personal breaking point. He found himself asking, why am I doing this? What's the purpose behind all this hard work? This feeling grew until it reached a breaking point, and Simon found himself in the middle of a personal crisis. He felt empty and, in many ways, lost. Imagine working hard every day, but feeling as though none of it truly matters. This crisis forced Simon to take a step back and ask himself some big questions. It was here, in this time of inner struggle, that he made a discovery that would change his life and the lives of millions. And as he searched for answers, he made a discovery that would shape his life. He realized that the people and companies he admired had one thing in common. They all had a strong reason, a purpose, a why. They knew why they were doing what they were doing, and that gave them direction, focus, and fulfillment. Inspired by his discovery, Simon reevaluated his own approach to work and life. He felt more motivated, more connected to his work, and more fulfilled because he had discovered his why. Excited to share this idea, he began giving talks about the power of knowing your purpose. His message resonated, and in 2009, he was invited to give a TED Talk called "How Great Leaders Inspire Action." Standing on that stage, Simon introduced the world to the Golden Circle, a model with 3 layers: what, how, and why. Most people and companies start with what they do, then move to how, but rarely reach the why. Simon argued that great leaders and companies, however, always start with why. This clarity of purpose, he said, is what inspires people to follow and believe. Simon's TED Talk went viral, reaching millions around the world. Start with Why became a movement, a call for people everywhere to connect with their purpose. He went on to write a book titled Start with Why, where he elaborates on his philosophy, encouraging readers to find their own why. Through his work, Simon teaches that success and happiness don't come from titles, money, or fame. True success is found when we know our purpose and live by it. When we find our why, we connect with others in a way that's deeply meaningful and fulfilling. As you listen to Simon's story, think about your own life. What is your why? Think of a time when you felt truly motivated, truly connected to what you were doing. Was there a reason behind it? Simon's journey shows us that real happiness and fulfillment come when we understand our purpose and live in alignment with it. His story challenges us to look beyond what we do and to ask why we do it, to search for a purpose that brings real meaning to our lives. Finally, we come to Steve Jobs. Now, Steve's story is one you might be familiar with, but there's a lot about his journey that often goes unseen. Jobs was a visionary, an innovator, and he's celebrated for building Apple into one of the world's most successful companies. But his path was filled with challenges and setbacks that shaped his understanding of success and happiness. In 1985, Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, the very company he had co-founded. Imagine that, being removed from the company you helped build. For most people, this would be the end of the road. But for Jobs, it was just the beginning. Instead of giving up, he started a new company called Next, which focused on advanced computing technology. Although Next wasn't a commercial success, it kept Jobs pushing forward, learning, and innovating. And in a twist of fate, some of the technology developed at Next became essential to Apple's future. In 1997, Jobs returned to Apple, where he would transform the struggling company into a global leader. Under his leadership, Apple introduced revolutionary products like the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad, products that changed how we live, communicate, and experience the world. But Jobs wasn't just creating products. He was crafting experiences that connected with people on a deep level. For him, success wasn't just about technology, it was about creating something beautiful, something people loved. Jobs was known as a perfectionist. He pushed his teams to their limits, often demanding excellence and refusing to settle for less. Jonathan Ive, the designer behind the iPhone, described working with Jobs as challenging but incredibly inspiring. Jobs once said, "We don't get a chance to do that many things, and everyone should be really excellent, because this is our life." This relentless drive for excellence allowed him to push the boundaries of technology and create products that resonated with people on an emotional level. But Jobs' focus wasn't just on technology, it was also about design and user experience. He believed that products should not only be functional, but also beautiful and simple to use. His attention to detail became part of his legacy. Walter Isaacson, Jobs' biographer, described him as someone with a passion for perfection, an intensity, and an ability to make people around him better. Jobs taught us that true success is about believing in a vision and working tirelessly to bring it to life. So, let's bring it all together. Gawdat, Simon Sinek, and Steve Jobs all discovered that real success isn't about quick fame or money. It's about purpose, resilience, and dedication to meaningful work. Mo's journey teaches us that happiness comes from within, from living with intention. Simon reminds us that knowing our why gives us fulfillment. And Steve shows us the power of believing in a vision and pursuing it with excellence. Each of these stories invites us to think about success in a new way. Real success isn't about likes, followers, or money. It's about knowing why we're doing what we're doing, following that purpose with dedication, and creating something meaningful. Real happiness and success come from understanding what truly matters, from finding our purpose, and from dedicating ourselves to work that brings meaning to our lives. As you think about your own goals and dreams, remember these stories and ask yourself, what's my why? What brings me true happiness? Because real success, the kind that leads to lasting happiness, is built on purpose, resilience, and the courage to live a life that matters.